It seems like almost everyone in the world is looking for that one magical answer that'll make everything fine, everything great, everything perfect, that will give us the perfect life, that will give us the perfect relationships, the perfect relationship with ourselves, perfect bodies, perfect level of happiness, and just generally make our lives good, the way that we want them to be, and make us the way that we want to be. So it's kind of interesting when people come to Destiny looking for this one answer, looking for this solution, looking for something that'll make their lives great. And of course, there is nothing that is going to give that to you. There is no movement or religion or philosophy or anything that's going to change who we are, that's going to change our lives. We are the ones who change our lives. So you can walk into any kind of way of living or way of thinking, and without actually putting in the work that it takes to live that way, what's going to change? Nothing. So let's say, for example, that I have an issue with anger. I am looking for something that's going to make my anger stop, that's going to make it go away. The reality, the truth is that I am responsible for changing who I am, for changing my relationship to how I deal with things. But if I'm looking for something else to take away what I'm feeling, what I'm thinking, what I'm doing, that's not going to happen, that's not going to work, because that's not dealing with the source of the issue, wherever the anger is coming from. There's no magic wand that can be waved and that can take away those moments where I lose my temper, that can stop that from happening. I am the one who has to live differently. Now, I'm not saying that Destiny is the only way, that it's the only thing that can ever help anyone change anything. There are plenty different ways. At the base of the process of changing, what it takes is for us to actually change. We have to be the ones to live the change. We have to be the ones to change the way we think. And that's not something that just happens like this. It's not something that can be done to us, that we can just pick up somewhere, or because we've now joined this new philosophy, suddenly everything's going to be great. It's not how it works. And this is a point where so many people kind of lose touch with themselves, because we think that there's something outside of us that's going to change us. We think that there's some person or some philosophy or some approach or some technology that's going to just change who we are, that's going to undo decades of a certain way of thinking, a certain way of dealing with things in the snap of our fingers, and just make everything good. That's not how it works, though. That's why so many people go from place to place looking for the answer, looking for something that makes them feel good. But in the end, we always come back to the reality that we are who we are, and until we change who we are, we're going to keep thinking the same way. We're going to keep doing the same things. We're going to keep feeling the same way. Nothing is going to change until we are the ones to create that change. So, for those who are looking for the answer, for those who are going from place to place, looking for the right way to live. It's not about what we find in all of those different philosophies that we come across in the world. It's about what can you practically live within yourself? What can you change in your life? What kind of methods work for you to change how you are thinking, how you are responding to situations, how you are communicating with other people? There are lots and lots and lots of different things to try, different methods to test, but unless you are fully actually living and testing it to find out if it's working, then nothing will change. And that's the point where so many people will, for example, with Destiny, they come into Destiny, they're looking for this answer when they are not having the results that they want. They're like, okay, this is not working for me, this is not it for me. But most of the time, 99.9% of the time, it's because that practical living change has not fully been lived. It has not fully been tested. The tools and the principles, there's nothing wrong with all of those things. It's how are you using them? How are you living them? How are you applying them in your life? Are you falling prey to your old designs? And that is entirely your responsibility. You can't make that the responsibility of the movement or the philosophy that you're part of now. It's always up to you. We are responsible for ourselves. And in our journeys in life, we come across different people and different paths that show us different ways that we can live. And sometimes those ways are effective for us, and sometimes they're not. Sometimes maybe we're not in the right space. Maybe we need to experience things and go through things that give us a change in perspective. But at the end of the day, I am responsible for me, regardless of what I choose to follow, what philosophy I choose to follow, because I am responsible for what I'm living, who I am living, what I'm thinking, what I'm feeling. And once we really start living that realization, that's when we can really start changing ourselves, because that's when we empower ourselves to say, okay, if I'm responsible, that means that I have the ability to change. I have the power to change. I can take this way that I've been doing things, the way that I've been thinking about things, the way that I've been seeing things, the way that I've been dealing with issues, and I can do it differently. Yes, it's going to be challenging because how I have been doing has become a habit. It's become that's how I've set myself in my ways. So yes, it will be a process of changing that. Yes, it will be a process of making mistakes, learning about myself, but I can practice persistency and consistency, and I can create change one step at a time. And at the end of that time, I can look back to who I was before, and I can see real, tangible change, because that's the tangible change that I have been creating and living one little step at a time. Okay, so if you would like me to answer any questions, elaborate on any points, then let me know. You can send me a private message or you can leave a comment. If you'd like to support me, you can do so on Patreon. The link is below. Otherwise, I shall see you next time. Bye-bye.